Hello and welcome back. And today we have another video in the figure battle series. With these figure battles, I usually take two figures that have something in common with each other. Maybe they're from the same line, or they have similar character origins, or a similar gimmick on the figures. But I had these two figures come in that really didn't match up with anything. And I thought it would be silly to pit these two figures against each other, since these two characters have nothing in common. But then inspiration struck. Can you see it? Okay, let me give you a hint. Now you see it, right? So let's have some fun with this. April O'Neil from the Best Action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series by the Loyal Subjects. A while back I did do a standalone video about the Casey Jones from this series, and I did not have favorable things to say about it. And I stated in that video that I probably wouldn't buy any more figures from the Best Action series. Well, I'm allowed to change my mind. The main reason I bought this was to have an April figure in the same scale and style as that Casey Jones figure, so I could match them with each other. So hopefully this figure is a little better than the Casey Jones that I reviewed. On the back of the box, we get a little write-up. April O'Neil is a quick-witted television news reporter for Channel 6 News. She's the Turtles' most loyal human ally and is most often their link to the outside world. We see that she has 31 points of articulation, and the included accessories are an alternate head, 4 alternate hands, a camera, microphone, headset, and a pistol. Grizzlor from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, a member of Hordak's Evil Horde, that was featured in She-Ra, Princess of Power. I'm not a completist in this Masterverse line. I do have a few figures, and I've been impressed with all of them. And this Grizzlor figure looks really great. Much better than the Tribble with legs that is the original and Origins Grizzlor. Back of the box, and you cannot argue that Mattel does not go all out on illustrations for their Masters of the Universe product. We get another great one here for Grizzlor, as well as a little write-up for the character. Few are feared across Etheria more than the bloodthirsty beast Grizzlor. Captured and brainwashed by Hordak, Grizzlor now loyally serves the leader of the Evil Horde as gatekeeper of the Fright Zone, as well as feral soldier to be unleashed in the battlefield. And we get the cross-sell of the other figures in this wave, and they really all look great. I may try to pick up the Buzz-Off at some point. April O'Neil made her first appearance way back in the original Mirage Comics Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #2 in 1984. In that original appearance, April O'Neil was a computer programmer who worked for Baxter Stockman to help him program his Mouser robots. Of course, the April most of you are familiar with, which is what this figure represents, is the April from the animated series from 1987. In that series, April was a television reporter for Channel 6 News, voiced by Renee Jacobs. And strangely, as a TV reporter, she always wore this yellow jumpsuit, which made her look more like she was going to work on a hazmat crew rather than report a news story. This April stands about 5 inches tall, as do most of the figures in the Best Action series. She's got some head rotation. Her shoulders can go out 360, and there is a little bit of a butterfly joint in there. She's got double jointed elbows. Of course, wrist can go 360. She's got various sets of alternate hands. There's a little bit of ab twist. Her legs can go up that much, but the thighs cannot go back because her butt is molded like so, so it prevents the legs from going back. But when they go forward, you do have that kind of strange looking gap in the back there. Double jointed knees, but the way Best Action does the knee articulation, it looks like she's wearing knee pads. And she does have a little bit of ankle articulation, as well as a thigh cut. So a couple of things I noticed. I don't know if we'll be able to see this on camera or not, but The upper thighs are a noticeably different shade of yellow than the rest of her jumpsuit. So that's a little bit distracting. Must have come from a different batch and the color wasn't matched correctly. And also some of the flesh parts are molded and others are painted, like the top of the arm here, where you can see a little bit of her arm underneath the sleeve here. This part is all molded in yellow and this flesh part is painted, and it is a noticeably different color of flesh tone than the rest of the arm. And the same thing happens with her neck area and the head. So a little bit of mismatch there. She's got an alternate set of grasping hands, this open left hand, and an alternate right hand with a trigger finger where she can hold her gun accessory. And you can see that works really well. The way it's molded, she can get her finger inside the trigger. Besides the gun, she does have other accessories for her reporter gear, which are the camera, microphone, and headset. And she has one alternate head with a different expression. If you combine that alternate head with the open hand, you can give her that look that says, "Oh my goodness, Bebop and Rocksteady are trashing the city." Those two grasping hands are good for holding that reporter gear. You also have the headset, but the big problem with the headset is it's not made to fit around the molded hair on the figure. So it doesn't fit properly and just looks kind of silly. And unfortunately, the gun does not hide inside the camera. It's a separate accessory. This figure is about what I expected after having looked at the Casey Jones and a couple of other Best Action figures. These are smaller and cheaper than other action figure lines on the market, but with these you get what you pay for. As I said earlier, one of the reasons I purchased this April was to match her up with the Casey Jones from the same line. And in that respect, they do look good together. I believe Grislaw's first appearance was in the mini-comic Grislaw: The Legend Comes Alive, when the original toy was released in 1985. In that story, it was explained that Grislaw was a tall tale on Eternia, and that most of the Eternians thought he was just a legend of a wild man-beast that was stalking the night. Now, I'm not sure how on a planet like Eternia, where you have Beastman, Merman, Buzz-Off, Stratos, that something like Grislaw would be considered an urban legend. But I guess they were trying to create some sort of Bigfoot-style story for Eternia. Grislaw is a member of Hordak's evil horde, and he's usually featured alongside Hordak's other top lieutenants, Mantenna and Leech. In expanded media from the 80s, it was said that Grislaw came from the planet of Jungalia, and that Horde Prime instructed Hordak to recruit Grislaw into the evil horde. I've only been buying select figures from the Masterverse line. I mostly buy Origins, but these Masterverse figures, some of them look really, really cool, and Grislaw is one of them. So let's check the articulation. He's got shoulders, double jointed elbows. He's got a little bit of ab crunch and waist swivel. His legs go up that much, and he's got a thigh cut, double jointed knees, bicep cut, wrists, and his feet can't swivel, but there's really no specific ankle articulation. I really like the sculpt and coloring on him. This is a much better design for Grislaw than the original Motu or the Origins figure, where he just looks like a big pile of fur with teeth. He's got the Evil Horde symbol all over him on his chest armor, on his arms, and on his boots. The chest armor is removable. It's got some straps that attach it in the back, and the fur piece is also removable. So if you take those off, you can have sort of a bare-chested look for Grislaw. I'm not going to do it. I'll show you a picture of what that looks like, because in my experience, these straps are a real pain to get on and off. So I don't want to take it apart. I'm just going to leave it as is. He comes with 2 alternate hands and 2 weapons. The energy crossbow is nice. It's got the translucent plastic on the energy part, And there's a little bit of paint on the head for that red Cyclops dragon eye. And that can clip onto his wrist, no problem. He's also got this axe, which is really nicely sculpted. It's got a lot of pock marks on it and divots. And it's also got a little bit of a wash on it to give it a weathered look, like it's been through quite a few battles. And of course you can see the Hordak symbol is sculpted onto the axe as well, because if nothing else, Hordak does love his branding. The axe can store on the back of his armor like so, and it fits snugly in his hand. Overall, Grizzlor is a great looking figure, and I'm very happy I picked this up. And now comes time to declare a winner in the figure battle. Can our ravishing reporter tame this beast and get the scoop of the century? Or will the violent man-beast get the better of her? Well, folks, it looks like once again Beauty has tamed the beast. And poor Casey is on the outside looking in. So the winner of today's battle is love. And I won't ask you if you agree, because come on, who doesn't agree with love? Anyway, that's all for this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.